Joyce, an honor well deserved. I couldn't think of a better person to be honored by the MAAC with this honor roll induction. You certainly made everybody's job at Siena much easier by the way you approached your work, by the seriousness with which you approached it, but how you kept it light at the same time, and for all the building you did at Siena, from the days of when you were an assistant women's basketball coach to the days of when you were hiring very good women's basketball coaches to help build Siena. Congratulations.
Joyce, congratulations on this award. It is such a deserving award for a wonderful person. And I want to thank you for giving me my first opportunity. My first job in college athletics was working for you. Learning from you, watching the way you worked with our student athletes and coaches with such tremendous passion, integrity, patience. I don't know if you realized it then, but you really guided me to the path that I ended up taking and making a career out of being a college administrator. I could not have done it without you. I appreciate all of your wisdom and guidance along the way. I had super big shoes to fill. After you had been here for 35 years, I kept hearing, well, this is how Joyce would do it, or Joyce didn't do it that way. So I really had a lot to learn, but I was so appreciative of, again, the opportunity and of learning, again, from somebody like you. And, even after my first, my first few days, weeks, and months here, you were always there for me, guiding me, answering all my questions, and really helping me. And I appreciate all you've done for me. Congratulations. Again, it's such a well-deserving award.
Well, I truly felt so honored when I received the message that I was going to be recognized for the MAAC Hall of Fame Honor Roll. I mean, I've worked hard over the 35 years that I had been at Siena and the years that I've been associated with the MAAC. But at times it really didn't feel like a job, and so I'm very honored. I mean, what more can I say, really? And I appreciate the Basketball Hall of Fame for allowing the MAAC, or working with the MAAC on having this opportunity to have a display there at the Hall of Fame, the only college conference that has this. And I think the MAAC has just created great relationships with people throughout the years, and is always innovative and doing the best that they can for the student athletes, coaches, and administrators.
Joyce, aka Motorcycle Mama, she handled situations with a calm, gentle approach. She never appeared to get rattled. She was compassionate about student athletes. She epitomized the work-life balance. She had always focused her decision-making on what was best for the student athlete. She is a great tennis player and a lousy ping pong player.
The best thing I can say about her, in many ways, she was the consciousness and the heart of our athletic department, because she always cared about what was best for our student athletes, whether it was in competition, whether it was in the classroom, or whether it was just day-to-day operations of the department. In terms of Siena, she really built women's athletics at Siena. When she was hired, there weren't many women's teams. It was the beginning of the expansion into adding women's programs. And she really was. I mean, she was a coach on many different levels. She was an assistant women's basketball coach. She was the head field hockey coach, the head softball coach, and she was a women's coordinator organizing all the other teams. And as she transitioned out of coaching, she became a great administrator in terms of giving guidance on how we could reasonably grow our programs and do it so both the men and the women benefited. And that's one thing she always put in the forefront, is it has to be good for everybody. We just can't do something for one group because we think we need to do it. We need to make sure we can find a way that everybody benefits from it.
Her youngest child, Amy, many, many years ago, was in the MAAC suite with me when Joyce was out doing some of her basketball activities. And she was sitting on my lap having ice cream and grapes. And at the end of the night, both her and I were covered with apples, ice cream, and grapes. But I'd like to go on to say that it's about 25 years later. Amy is a young adult. She has graduated from college and has 2 young children, making Joyce a very proud grandmother.
As far as Sienna, there's just so many memories that I have. I guess I'll relate it to basketball. When the women's basketball team went to the NCAA championships, we had a wonderful group of student athletes on the team, a great coaching staff. We always have a great coaching staff, but it was just so wonderful for that team that worked so hard to get there and win the MAAC championship. When you work in athletics, you know, the hours are kind of crazy. You're on the road a lot, traveling, and sometimes your family can take a toll on your family. But I do remember some MAAC championships where my children, I have 3 children, 2 sons that are now in their 30s and a daughter who's 27, and they would come to the MAAC championships with me, especially when they were here in Albany, and we would kind of take over the MAAC suite. I remember one time Amy was probably a year and a half, 2 years old. She had a crumbled up cracker in her hand, all gnawed, and Bob Burns picked her up and hugged her because she was tired, and all over his back was her cracker. It didn't bother him. You know, this is just the type of people that you work with, you know, in the MAAC. I have enjoyed, you know, my career in athletics, and the type of people that are attracted to athletics are similar to me, and I think that we get along. We're all working toward the same goals, and it's been a great career.
Joyce, congratulations on your induction into the MAAC Hall of Fame, a well-deserved honor.